And thank you everyone for being here today. We are the Inorganic Ventures MSBA team. Let's do some quick introductions. My name is Thomas Ragsdale. I have a master's and a bachelor's in public health.
I'm Zach Cunningham. I graduated with a bachelor's in finance.
I'm Jessica Hall. I have a bachelor's in business information technology with a concentration in decision support.
And I am Miles Phillips. I also have a degree in business information technology with a concentration in operations and supply chain management.
And our faculty sponsor was Dr. Greg Kogan, or our faculty advisor is Dr. Greg Kogan. We want to thank our sponsors who are here with us in the audience today. Chris Gaines, the CEO of Inorganic Ventures, Brian Alexander, who was our main point of contact for the project, and James King, who provided a lot of really valuable insights for the production team, along with his fellow directors. So Inorganic Ventures, for those of you who haven't had the pleasure of working on this project, is a family-owned chemical company located in Christiansburg, Virginia. They manufacture certified reference materials that are used in all kinds of industries and in all kinds of countries. And so it's been really exciting to work with this company. When they first hired us for this project, one of the main background information things for the project was that there was a lot of data that was stored, has been collected from sales invoices in the past, and recently has been consolidated into a data warehouse. This has provided a lot of opportunity to do analytics based on this data, but it's not always clear what the best opportunities are. Just looking at the data, it requires a little bit of digging. So we recognize that there were some opportunities for Inorganic Ventures to maximize their competitive advantage of great products and great customer service, as well as to identify what the key drivers of sales are and to enhance the overall business process and fill in any information gaps. So our goal for this project was to leverage this data to identify the biggest opportunities to increase revenue. And to accomplish that, we developed several dashboards in Power BI that are tailored to Inorganic Ventures finance, sales, and production teams. So I'll turn it over to Jess, who will go into more detail about those dashboards.
Thanks, Thomas. So for our team objectives, we identified 5 steps for a very successful capstone project. The first step was to collaborate with management to identify and fill data gaps. So as a little background, Ivy is currently working with another company, Press, to consolidate all of their data from multiple different areas into one data warehouse. So with that process, we have identified there are multiple areas of a little bit of best data or incomplete data. So we've identified where they could clean up a little bit more and also provided formulas for measures that we could use for future analysis. So the next step is to tailor the research questions to the data available. So the IB team gave us a set of questions that they would like answers to, but we recognize with all the data in the data warehouse right now, we wouldn't be able to address all the questions immediately. So we narrowed a list down to what we can answer right now with what data we have, and also identified what data we need in the future to answer the remaining questions. So our next step was to design and build interactive dashboards with Power BI. So these dashboards serve as a very powerful tool for Inorganic Ventures across multiple different teams, so they can all come to the same conclusions, same answers, and speed up their work. Next was to conduct an in-depth analysis of the data to identify overall trends and top product performers. So this step will help them get a little bit closer to more informed decision-making. And then finally, we are creating a roadmap for analysis. So this roadmap contains some of our data recommendations for the future, some formulas we recommend, and some analysis, and also a how-to guide on how to use our dashboards. So next, for our solution methods, as we said, we developed a set of dashboards. We focus on 3 main groups: finance, sales, and production. But first, to introduce those dashboards, we have a performance overview. This performance overview is essentially a summary page for the rest of the project. It highlights things like yearly growth summary, the top and bottom performing products, top revenue generating customers, the revenue, profit, and costs. So going into sales, this will highlight revenue and profit. Finance will highlight revenue and profit. Sales will also highlight revenue and profit, as well as some customer and region analysis. And finally, production will focus more on units produced and shipped out, as well as the more region analysis. Next, all of our dashboards have a very similar layout. This will help IB As they flip through all the pages, they'll know exactly where everything is and how things work. So all of our dashboards contain a set of filters. Here at the bottom, we have an example. We have things like select a year, product group, market segment. Some others include selecting a country or even searching by a specific customer. Next, all of our pages contain summary cards. Here we have an example like profit per customer, highest profit generating customer, total profit, highest profit generating item. And on our actual dashboards, they'll contain actual numbers, not just X's. And these are also tailored specific to page. So those are examples for, say, our profit analysis page. We also have our production pages, which show things like units shipped out, average order size, things like that. So here we have an example of one of our dashboards. It's very basic. We had to cut out a lot of things. So keep in mind that the X's would actually be numbers and the graphs more in depth. So all of our dashboards start at the top with a title and a brief summary of what the dashboard is about. As we work our way down, right below the title will be the filters that I mentioned, as well as the summary cards. And at the bottom, all of our dashboards contain two types of graphs. Depending on what the topic of the dashboard is, we'll depict what graphs to show. So in our example, we have two bar charts. One is for profit by product group, and the other is for profit by product line. And any of our charts that contain date data, they can be drilled down even further into things like the quarter, down to month, and even down to the day. So I'll pass it on to Zach to explain some of our analysis.
Thanks, Jess. So at the beginning of the project, we're given a big Excel file with a lot of questions. Wanted to be able to answer this by finding performance indicators to try to optimize our competitive advantage. Starting with our sales analysis, we found customer insights such as customer profit, customer revenue, how much product our customer buys, and the individual product within that as well. Then if we go to our sales overview as well, Inorganic Ventures primarily have the majority of their sales in the United States. We also have a large portion outside the United States. So we have an example of the top right of kind of a map of what our dashboard would look like. It would show the location of each transaction and revenue by each transaction location as well. Moving to our financial analysis, we have recognized historical profit and revenue trends. And as Jess said, this can be filtered by year, quarter, month, and even daily as well. We have identified gross margins within the company. This can be so far as in the individual product margins, but also as the company as a whole. Moving to our production overview analysis, our product performance is about individual products. We can analyze our revenue, profit, and quantity shipped for each individual product. So we can recognize top and bottom performers within the company. And also for our production, we have our most shipped bottle size as well. This can help with our inventory, be able to analyze how much on stock would be at any given moment, as well as our average order size, which Miles will go in depth a little bit more about in a second, but this will help implement a consistent discounting plan within the company also. And I'll pass it on to Miles to talk about our opportunities.
All right, thank you, Zach. So from looking at the ins and outs of our dashboards, we're now going to give an overall utilization opportunities methods for how our dashboards should be used. So our first benefit from using our dashboards is that they offer future cost savings. So a very good example of saving time on these different opportunities is some of the directors had to go through an Excel file of all the data. They consisted of around 100,000 rows of data. So with our dashboards, you don't have to do that anymore. You can specify what you want at any time, any place. So that's a benefit, one benefit from there. Also, the money focus, we also focus on different resources, such as you don't have to outsource the information to a different company, and we've already done that for you, so you don't have to do that anymore. So the second benefit for the utilization is it optimizes solution methods for all the dashboards using our prior sales knowledge. So using this prior sales knowledge, we can drill down and use different marketing methods and determine what products need to be shipped in different areas to generate the best revenue in each location. And there's different drill down methods that you can use to get a more granular detail of how to use these dashboards. So with that in mind, while there still is a little bit of messy data in the analysis, we can still look at initial observations to conclude some recommendations for Inorganic Ventures. So the first one, going from the top to bottom, is to implement these dashboards first, as well as expand on the dashboards with cleaner data. So this would first grant you leverage in the different product mixes you want available in each location. as well as allowing for different accurate metrics for better utilization of these of the information. So the second thing we have to recommend to Inorganic Ventures is to incorporate a uniform discounting practice. And this would be used to get more customer attention using the data warehouse attributes, as well as incentivizing sales in bulk. So that's another benefit to use in that regard, excuse me. And you can lower the cost of ordering some of this information or products. So the third thing that we have here is to utilize a how-to user guide that we'll have for you in the upcoming weeks for Inorganic Ventures, as well as a roadmap. And this will allow for correct uses of the dashboards, as well as how to connect to the live data source. And using this roadmap that we'll have for you with future different analysis methods, such as the cluster analysis and weighted average, it can allow you to evolve your data from the descriptive analytics to predictive analytics. And with that in mind, while we've had some tough classes in the, to say the least, throughout the year, we really enjoyed our time here in the MSBA BA program. The Capstone project is the big staple point, and we thank Inorganic Ventures for your trust in us throughout the entire year, and the MSBA BA program for allowing us to be in the program in general. So with that in mind, we thank you for your time, and we'll open the floor to questions. Thank you.
How the data they change the data?
So the Power BI data, oh, thanks for the great question, by the way. So the Power BI data updates on a multiple daily scale. So from, I believe it's one every 3 hours or so, maybe even lower than that. So you don't have to change anything other than just put the data in the software, and Power BI does the rest for you.
Yeah, fantastic job. Thank you so much. As we are going to engage with another cohort, do you have any recommendations for the next group that might help their journey be a little bit smoother or fruitful? And particularly any recommendations for Inorganic Ventures as to how we can better support them moving forward?
I guess I'll start with something. So I think for the most part, great question, by the way. I think for the most part, I think we've had a very smooth time throughout the phases of getting the data and actually utilizing the data and putting it in the dashboards. I would say for cohort 8, for them to just utilize our dashboards to the fullest extent, so you can actually further detail what they need to do in the future, so they can improve the business team more.
Kind of add on that, I would also recommend focusing on the ordering process. So I think that would help with like the data, like assuming that's where the data is coming from, how are the orders being placed, who's supporting it, that would help.